when they pop on.
Okay.
So welcome to the Be the Spark Summit. And we are, let's see, I got you pinned, Neil. Let's see if I can, I'm going to pin myself just for a second. So we welcome everybody to the Be the Spark Summit. And my co-host is Jeffrey Martin. And he and I met on TikTok. I'm going to introduce myself, tell a little bit about myself, and then Jeffrey can introduce himself. And then we will go around and let people introduce themselves and tell us why they have chosen to be here for this Be the Spark Summit. So again, I'm Carrie Myers. If you do not know me personally, I have a master's of social work degree. I am a 500-hour registered yoga teacher. I have 3 kids and a husband. Neil Myers is my husband. And multiple critters that live in my house. I am also a program director or program developer, which is my self program, which is Spirit, Empowerment, and Love Foundations. And that is for teen girls mostly, but I've done young men in the groups also. And that is to help promote self-love and self-worth, creating some resiliency skills for kids as they develop into young women and men and be able to give back to the world. I also have a Reconnect program, which is ladies. It's developed for ladies as they are empty nesters and or anyone who is ready for a shift in their life. And it's along the same line. So both those programs are around yoga, journaling, and meditation. The reason that I wanted to do this was because I see so much trauma in the world, so much fear and anger and hatred. And everybody just seems to be disconnected in the world. Hi, Karen, glad you're here.
Hi.
We're just introducing ourselves and telling a little bit about ourselves, and then we'll give you guys the chance to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
So that is the reason that I wanted to be a part of this and invited Jeffrey to be my partner in this experiment, I guess we call it, to go out and change the world by reaching individuals and giving little assignments to you guys and to ourselves so we can impact the world one person at a time. So now I'm going to give the floor to Jeffrey.
Hey, I'm Jeffrey Martin. Glad to meet everybody. Just glad to be here. I'm a writer. I've written 13 books. So that's my passion. And reading and writing are my passions. Another passion that I have is seeing. I've just always wanted things to be okay, like everybody, but not just for myself, for people too. I don't know. Some of us are just born that way, but more sensitive or whatever. But in my life, I've heard so many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful speeches. I've read things that have been beautiful, have moved me. But I think I'm at the point in my life now that I've been hearing that and reading that, and that's beautiful. But I want to see it invoke some change in what we're seeing around us. And I don't see that. I don't see the change that we hear about. We hear about it all the time, but I don't see it. And I was thinking, well, me and Carrie were talking about this. And how do we get beyond just the cliches or the nice speeches or the beautiful poetry and go beyond that and actually see changes? And I think to do that, we have to ruffle feathers. In order to fly, you have to ruffle feathers. You don't start off flying. You have to kind of get those feathers moving. And that, you have to do that. And so I think talking about stuff that will not only ruffle some feathers, but inspire people to go back and do something that they can do personally, because it's not a big group. It's just individually we can do things, but we have to do things. It's an action word. Living is an action word, and change is action. It's just not about words. I love words, but I'm seeing in my life that words don't just do it. They inspire us to be inspired, but we have to follow with action. And so that's why I'm here. I'm excited about it. I want to disagree with, I want people to disagree with me because that's how we learn, so if we don't agree, that's fine, because it's going to push me to a teacher told me this one time. I don't think the teacher even liked me very much. I think I told Carrie this story. I was taking a college course, but I was an adult. These were like 18-year-olds, and a lot of things that the teacher would say, I would disagree with, and I'd always be raising my hand like, I don't know about that. And so I was doing a report on something, and I was very opposed to the other side of that report. And she gave me some advice that I used to this particular day. She said, well, if you're so strong in what your stance is, whatever it is, have you studied the other person's stance? And I thought, I haven't. She said, so if you really want to know what you're opposing, you need to study what you're opposing. Don't just because you're emotionally disconnected from it, that doesn't mean you know anything about it. So basically she was telling me, if your enemy is doing something, you need to understand what your enemy is doing so you can, confront that. So I just feel like we have to disagree on some things. We have to be pushed to think a little bit differently to really make change, or if not, we're just talking. And I don't want to just talk, at this point. So that's where I'm coming from.
I agree completely. Who would like to go next? Introduce yourself, give us a little information about why you're here.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I am a soul entrepreneur. I'm a 300 YTT. That's how I met Carrie many years ago. I am also a aspiring health coach, and I am a Reiki master. I am here because I think we need change in so many aspects of so many things. I have learned to agree to disagree with some people, being able to say, yes, I hear what you're saying, but I don't agree, but I'm not going to get into like a big fight about it. You know what I mean? We're all open to having our own opinions, but we have to learn, like, was said, that you have to learn about the other things, right? You can't just have it's not always black and white. There's always so many shades of gray, right? And we have to be able to learn. And like my life, I know, has been a journey, and I want to continue on this journey, but I also want to be able to make a difference, even if it's one small thing at a time.
Yeah, that is beautiful, Victoria. I think that's our goal as we expand what we're doing here, is to make that one little change that will impact somebody else, and that will allow them to make a change that will ripple throughout the world. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. So my name's Neil Myers. Obviously, I'm married to Carrie. I'm much better half. I'm in business. I just sell computers and stuff like that. And I also have a manufacturing company that I run that my two sons help me with. And I guess the reason I'm here is, I guess I have a perception that people tend to listen to what others say and just take it for the truth versus do some individual investigation or research on their own about certain items. It could be from, how to plant a plant to how to drive your car, to anything else. So, and I'm just curious to better learn how people think about things, and also try to expand my horizon to where I continue to not only question things, but just do some research and make my own opinion versus taking somebody else's opinion and using that as a mask on myself. So that's it.
Very nice. Thank you for being here. I forced him to, so Okay, who else would like to go?
I'll go. I'm Katie. Hi. And I am a lot of different things, which who knows what day it is, depending on what role I'm in, but I'm a nurse. I'm a mother of two daughters, a wife, And I'm also an entrepreneur with inspiration with Carrie too, and just love learning with and from her to really help expand this kind of work and helping people really expand their thinking, expand their minds, expand their souls. And I'm here just one, because I love to talk and listen and hear stories of other people's lives, and two, because I believe in humanity. And I feel like there's still so much, even though there's so much negativity and so much going on in the world, I believe in the power of connection and really learning from each other. So I'm really glad to be here with you guys.
Thank you for being here. And if anybody wants to learn more about Katie's Sacred Year project, it is phenomenal. So you can email me or text me, and I'll give you a little blurb about that. Karen, would you like to go next? Yeah, you're muted. So if you go to the,
I'm there now.
yeah,
Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Kleins. I'm currently a student in San Diego Community College, taking online classes. I'm on this spiritual journey to self-discovery, to learn more about myself and my ancestors. The reason this group caught my interest, because it appears to be like-minded people that are striving in the same direction to help. I'm just recently started my journey to self-discovery because of all the traumatic situations that I have experienced in my life, and how to heal and still move forward. So my journey began looking for God first.
Mhm.
And what I've learned on the journey is to know myself first, to know who I am, and remain spiritually connected in my moving forward in healing. I've worked several jobs. I've worked for the Department of Mental Health and Hygiene as a peer advocacy. I've also mentored many of my peers coming up. I'm a recovering addict. I'm also healing from traumatic situations from childhood. And throughout the group, y'all will get to know more about me.
Okay.
well, Karen, we're so glad that you're here. And just a little blip. I met Karen yesterday on TikTok. I met Jeffrey on TikTok, and both of them were very inspiring to me. So I reached out to them, and Jeffrey actually reached out to me first and invited me on his podcast.
Right.
So that's another one. You should listen to Jeffrey's podcast. So, just having that connection and reaching out to people is so important in what we're doing in this world. Now, the other three, Noah, Sarah, and Zachary, those belong to me. Sarah is the mother of Neil and I's first grandchild. But I'll let them tell you a little bit about themselves if one of them wants to hop on. Guys, do you want to hop on and say anything?
Hey, is my mic working?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm Noah Myers. I'm Carrie's son, and I'm here to try to better understand how to make points to people who may not be open to listening, and just hear thoughts about what other people may have about being able to do that properly without offending or upsetting people.
No video, so we can see Remy.
I don't have a camera on this computer. Sarah does.
Okay. Okay.
So Noah's the father of our first grandchild,
Yeah.
Remington Cash.
Congratulations on that.
And if
Congratulations.
that doesn't want to
Very
make you
much.
inspire change in the world, having a grandchild, then very little will. Zachary or Sarah, you want to come up? There's Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi,
Carol
Sarah.
Remington here, but
Yes, he's
Um,
asleep.
but yeah, I'm just here to listen in. I'm really curious about like everyone's I don't know, one thing I need to work on is stop saying I need to really just learn more about how to interact with other people in more productive ways. And I think, this group listening in may give me some information on that, and just hearing everyone else's opinions and thoughts. And yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you're here, Sarah. All right, Zachary, you're on.
Hey, how's everybody going?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Sorry if I didn't respond to you guys earlier. I was having some audio issues. I go to school to take computer science, and I still can't figure out how to get my audio right. But I like mom. My mother said I'm her son and Neil's son, and I'm on here because she won't stop talking about how great this show is, and the expectations and
Also, yeah.
what the potential of what this can be. So yeah, I thought I'll jump on and show my support, and definitely listen in, because I'm definitely a believer in improving every day, and whatever I can do to improve, whether it's physically or mentally, I'll try my best to absorb it. That's about all I got.
Thank you, Zachary. Did I see Madeline hop on? Madeline, we're just introducing ourselves, and obviously Madeline is our daughter. Introducing ourselves and telling a little bit about why we are here and want to be supportive of this project. So if you would like to hop on.
All right. I am Madeline Myers, and I am Carrie's daughter and Neil's daughter. And I have been going through a spiritual journey for a long time, and I've been healing for a little bit, and my mom has helped me a long way on this journey, and she has helped show me the ropes, and that I'm eternally grateful for. But right now I'm kind of just taking a break from school, and well, I might go back to school, I don't know yet, but I'm just kind of taking a little break and just deciding what I want to do. And I'm here because I want to support my mom, of course, and I love everything she's doing, and I think that this is a great thing to do, and I'm very proud of her. And I think helping other people on their journeys is her soul's purpose. And I'm excited to see how this is going to grow. Love you, Mom.
Thank you, Madeline. I love you too. As you can tell, I'm a little bit proud of my gang there. One thing that I wanted to read to you guys is a quote. I was reading The Feminine Face of God just last week, and this really struck me. The author of this book, she said, when individuals move in and out of community only to satisfy their own needs without extending themselves to others, they create problems for the community as a whole. And that really struck me as I feel like our world is selfish in a lot of ways. We focus on individuality and less on community. And that quote was like, bam, that is a lot of what's going on, is everybody's out for themselves. Everybody is, needs more than anybody else, or everybody's entitled more than anybody else. And a lot of what I feel like is going on in our world is about power and control and manipulation. So the powers that be can make money and have control over us. And it is in all my research and studies and all, I feel like they manipulate us by putting us in fear and shame is mostly what is going on in the world. And that's my take on it. So so y'all can chime in and tell me your take on it. But those are very low vibrational energies. And so part of what this group is about raising the vibration of our world. So we do not have to live in fear and shame and guilt. And we can, raise our vibration and live from joy and happiness and love.
Yeah. And not being silent. I think silence is such a dangerous thing. It really is. And I think too many good people, my opinion, too many good people are silent. They're good people, but they're silent. And silence can be a dagger. It really can. Silence has not approved, but it has stood by and let some atrocious things happen because people weren't, it's not affecting me and I'm over here and I'm okay. It's not affecting me and my family or who I'm really concerned about. So I'm not going to speak on it. But I think that's, when you look at the big picture, that's a really dangerous stance to take. And I think people take it without even saying that they're taking it, but in their silence, they're saying, because silence is an answer also. When you ask somebody a question and they don't say anything, they're saying something. So I think silence is a really dangerous thing, especially now. I just seem that maybe more people are seeing it too, but I don't understand that this is why I'm here. You guys can help me. The guys and ladies can help me. A lot of things about our world right now, I really don't understand. I'm like confused, like, wow, this is an interesting time to be alive. Great time to be alive in some ways, and then other ways, it's like really confusing. Like it's one step forward and 4 steps back. I don't know, but I'm really at that point right now. A lot of things I see confuse me about people's treatment of each other or what they say about people that they don't agree with. It's okay to disagree with somebody, but they get ugly and nasty because you don't agree. I don't know. So a lot of it I don't understand. But I said all that to say that I think silence is a very dangerous thing in a world that needs somebody to speak, that needs people to come together and address things. Silence won't do it.
May I say something?
Absolutely.
Excuse me. May I say something to silence? It's been to my experience not to be heard at a time when I needed to be. For whatever reason, I wasn't afforded that opportunity to effectively express myself. And when I was able to get the words out, it came out in anger. It came out in anger because they were held in so long. There was not enough hours in the day, and the days accumulated to years. And behavioral problems occurred because there was something very important to me that needed to be said and wasn't listened to. So, of course, it accumulated to behavioral problems and acting out in ways I really didn't want to. But not being able to effectively express to my mom, prime example, because of whatever she was going through, and not having time to hear what was actually happening to me. And when it did come out, it came out in anger and behavioral issues. And at that point, a feeling of rejection and neglect was on. So I had to find my way to get to where I'm at now, and still working to remove those layers of band-aids that was just covered up
Mm.
and actually heal. And I'm 53 years old, but it took me a long time to really grow up to a mature adult because I was so broken. And I feel that that's what's happening today. A lot of people is not or has not been heard and needed to be heard until it's out of control now because they don't know who to trust now. They don't know who's genuinely listening to them, who's really concerned about them. This is why I say, and I commend the Myers for the connection with the family and the orientation of the family, because I believe everything starts at home.
Mm.
Everything starts with the structure of the parent. That's the foundation, and if you cannot trust your parent, who can you trust? If you're not protected by your parent, who can you really trust? This is why there's so much going on today with mental health and behavioral problems because of the lack of love stemming from the root. Thank you for letting me share.
So true.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
agree.
real truth there. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah, love is like the highest vibration ever. So I agree so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's one reason that I'm doing the program I'm doing is to teach the kids to love themselves. And because you have to start there, and then you teach other people how to love you. And I'm trying to get the parents involved in this program a little more also, because the parents need to hear what the kids are thinking and to give the platform and the resiliency skills to overcome some of the traumas. But also, like this platform here, is that when the girls are together in a small group, then they can feel heard also. And I think, like you said, Karen, that's so very important, is to allow people to feel heard. Thank you.
Definitely. Because if you're not heard, you carry that, like the sister was saying, you carry that and you don't know how to express yourself. It takes a while to get to that point. We had I was involved in a group some years ago, and we had some people coming out of prison who were using poetry as an inspiration. And so, and they invited me to be one of the poets to say something there. There's like 30 people, and the moderator gave us this assignment. Now check this out. And what he asked us to do is take a piece of paper and write 3 negative things about ourselves. 3 negative things about ourselves. So, but you couldn't put your name on it. You just do this and then turn it in. We're going to read it afterwards. So I didn't think anything of it until afterwards. But anyway, we all write it down. Went really quick. And then he started reading what we had talked about ourselves, what we had said about ourselves. And it was amazing. It sounded like a room full of people who hated themselves. It really did. I'm like, oh my, and all of us are listening, but nobody knows who said what. But we just know that all of us have said something. Then he asked us, okay, now write something positive. That didn't go as quickly. That wasn't as quick. We didn't write that down. We had to think, let me see. But we didn't have to think about anything negative. We just brought that up right away. But the positive thing, saying something positive about ourselves, stunned a lot of us. And that's sad. We need to flip that. And I think that's what this is all for me. That's what this is about. Flip that in for people, where it's easy to say something positive about yourself. And we come up sometimes that we never hear anything positive about ourselves. So we have a hard time bringing that up. And I thought that was such an interesting assignment because it shocked everybody in the room how negative we could be. It sounded like we all hated ourselves. And we were there saying that we loved ourselves and we were poets, but it didn't sound like it very much at all. Because the things that we said about ourselves were really ugly things. They weren't just my feet are too big or I don't wear a hat well. It was like ugly, really ugly, hurtful things that we were saying about ourselves. So That's what this is about. When she brought up the love thing, love is the most high, the highest vibration. No doubt about it. Nothing even comes close. We
Right.
have to deal with a lot more craziness, but love is, it's that equalizer.
You know, and it took a minute because of low self-esteem, lack of confidence, and really no encouragement, because I've been on my own since I was 13. You know, I've been on my own since I was 13. And I'm, like I said earlier, I'm 53 now, but every day for the last 4 years, I not only give myself a positive affirmation, I post every day on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram a positive affirmation, because sometimes people don't know where to start looking for positive things to feed their self
So true.
and have no guidance, no real guidance, no support, you know. So I use those platforms to help someone who is not able to say, I don't know the words to say, but can read those words and feel a little bit better about themselves.
Absolutely.
So true. So true. I've had people on TikTok make me cry. I posted, I try to post positive stuff like yourself, and they've inboxed me, and what they've said about what I said and how it affected them, it made me cry. I'm like, I thought
Girl.
TikTok was a fucking joke. Excuse me. I really did. I was like, oh, it goes viral, it's all this. And then I started getting these inbox. I'm like, oh, some people on here are serious. They're really serious. And I've been moved. I'm like, I got to keep this up. I'm touching somebody and somebody's touching me. So yeah, like you said,
Absolutely.
people need to hear it. And you said, it's such a beautiful point. You said they have to have somewhere to start. Oh man, that's powerful. That right there, they have to have somewhere to start. And sometimes our encouragement gives them that place to start. And then they're off and running. You just never know. You know, you just never know.
Absolutely. Katie, you look like you were going to say something.
I have a lot to say. I'm trying to figure out where to start, but I've been thinking a lot about this and how to create safer spaces for people to practice speaking up and using their voice. And one thing I've observed in my work, both as a nurse and as a coach, is, you know, I've been thinking a lot about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for lack of a better descriptor, but I find it's really hard for people to move up to self-actualization and love and all of those higher levels of energy if their basic needs and their safety and their security aren't being met. And I think we're seeing a lot of that play out right now, where people don't feel safe, they don't feel secure. And there's layers for that for people, right? There's generational trauma, ancestral trauma, there's oppression, there's, you know, lack of food and resources, and, you know, poverty, and all of that is really hard to overcome and heal from. And so a lot of people I've noticed get really stuck in that state, and it's hard to move that vibration up. And so I love what you're saying, Jeffrey, about just being a light, and Karen, being a light and sharing your medicine with people, and calling people into that and giving them hope that they can shift, that they can work in their life to heal. But it really does start with, you know, kind of like Carrie said, coming back to yourself and learning how to be safe in your body and love yourself, to be able to hold yourself, because this world surely is not going to hold you at this point. You can't rely on that. So you have to come back to, you know, like Karen said, yourself, and then higher power, higher energy, spirit, whatever you want to call it. But it's such a journey to feel safe and held, and really honor your own voice enough to then be able to speak, and then learn how to listen and be open and curious with other people. So it's such a journey. And I'm on it with everybody else, but all of the things you guys were talking about just kind of brought that to my mind. So thanks for letting me share.
If you know with what's going on in the world today, put a big fear, which is false evidence appearing real to people. Or you have people like myself who say, I'm going to face everything and recover, not F everything and run, you know? So, but with the safe space to face everything and recover, you have to be bondable and put yourself out there. You have to, because my willingness and my determination for healing was so deep and so necessary to, I put myself out there. I challenged that energy of fear to see what the real outcome would be. And once I learned that it was false evidence appearing real, and I just had to get past the how others may see me. It's how I see myself. It's how I feel about me and the hope that I need and really having the desire and the passion to get it from anybody at this point because I wasn't getting it from home. So now I need it like water. So I'm really putting myself out there and letting it be known, this is what I need. This is how I can make it. This is how I can keep going, you know, and that's how it's been working for me.
That's awesome. I want to recognize that Jerome has come on. So Jerome, if you would like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you are here and decided to join this conversation, we would love to hear from you.
Okay, hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
What's up,
Good,
Jerome?
Jerome.
Oh my God, that's my
Yeah,
son over
man.
there on the East Coast. I didn't. Okay, good to see you.
Yeah,
we got a long history. So yeah. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's my boy over
this
there.
is why I was tapping into the conversation.
Mhm.
I mean, I follow him. I follow him on this journey that he's on, man. It inspires me.
I appreciate it, man. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, man.
You gonna make me cry up in here, man.
Man, it's been like that. It's been like that since for a long time, man.
Yeah.
A lot longer than y'all would know, man.
Yeah, definitely. Good to see you. I'm glad you're
good
here.
to see you as well. You know, so I see all the consciousness that's going on over here. I feel the energy and everything like that. Coming from over here, the conversations, the topics that you're talking about, the man you're talking about them in. Katie, I understand, like with the 4 walls, the pyramid. I understand exactly what you're talking about. We have similar knowledge and similar, I guess, intentions of what we're trying to do with it. So that's the reason why I tapped in. And again, always to learn. I'm here to see what I can figure out. First and foremostly, see what I can learn from all of it. There's a lot of wisdom here, and I'm here to listen.
Wow.
Well, we're glad you're here, Jerome, and I'm sure you have a lot of wisdom to share with us also. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, y'all are making my heart like explode. And I just really want to thank every one of you for being here. I kind of lost my train of thought because my heart was like, oh, you know. One of the things that let me look back through my notes here 1 second. One of the things that I was thinking about, and that's what it was. I was going to say something that Jeffrey quoted. That you can be honest and hurt someone, or you can be honest and help someone. That's what he said to me the other day. And I think that's what this conversation is about, right? Being honest and seeing how we can help each other and not only help ourselves. And so just being honest about how we feel and the things we've been through and the things we've seen, and also the the drive and love that we have for humanity, and we want to help other people to feel like we feel, or how we're working to feel, at least.
Yeah.
And like coming together and creating those bonds and creating this community. So that was what I wanted to share, is that quote that Jeffrey said to me the other day. So being honest and working through things with each other instead of lashing out and saying I'm right and you're wrong about a lot of things, regardless of what it is, because we all have that lived experience that means way more to us personally than someone else's lived experience.
Mhm. No doubt about it. And I don't want to, you guys shut me up when I get carried away. So I don't want to be talking the whole time, but she's just saying things that inspire, all of you are saying things that are inspiring me. But I want everybody to realize, to see how important, how strong love is. Love is the strong, we see love sometimes and kindness as something weak. It's not weak at all. Love is not weak at all. One of my heroes in history, male or female, is Harriet Tubman. And the reason she is my hero is because what she did it 19, 20 times. History lies so much, so it might have been more than that. But she went back and forth to get people who weren't sure if they wanted to be free. But she kept going back. There's nothing weak about that. That's love. That's love. So love is a powerful thing. And that's why we need to grab onto it. Hate is nasty and evil. It's not strong like love. You know, it causes havoc and destruction, but love is on the other side of the spectrum. It's such a powerful, powerful emotion. It really is. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and I feel like people just don't understand that. But like when all you spread is love in the world, then it's not even that you want it back, that you want to receive it back, but it's like you want to give that to everybody else. Because like, why would you want to keep all your love to yourself? You know?
Very true.
Yeah.
For some people, you know, for some people first have to love themselves, right? Because in order for me to love you, I have to first love myself.
Right.
And being able to effectively give love with no strings attached to it and give that unconditional love and be able to continue on without having attachment, but moving in love and light and reaffirming that you're there, but you're not there to stay. You understand? Because some people can take finally receiving somebody to love them, right? And become too attached till they're only depending on that love that they're getting.
You know? And they can suck you dry.
Yeah, because when
Absolutely.
you know, in a way, but you know, you should know your limits, and it comes with boundaries, right?
Yes.
Because when you're at that point of the day, when you done poured out, you have to find that time to fill your pot back up. Yes. Especially if there's no one filling your pot up but you.
Absolutely.
You have to have that boundary point to say, look, I've done my deed for today. I have to do my deed for myself in order to stay with the energy and the genuineness of giving it out.
Yes. Yes, that's a beautiful thought. And you know, they say, like, studies have proven that it takes one person to turn a child's life around, or to turn someone's life around. One person to care and show you they care and give you love, to really pivot from a place of self-destruction or chaos to a place of growth and being able to love oneself.
It's that one little push.
I love this.
Yeah. Just to add on to what you were saying, what I do is I have a organization called Chisels, Choosing Higher Intelligence Starts Elevated Living. And what we do is work with emotional intelligence and also mental intelligence and healing in our community. And I also work for Youth Advocate Program, where I'm a regional trainer and also, you know, a lot of different psychological and mental, I would say, applications of, you know, different philosophies to deal with people and really with our youth. And so I like to think of love as a vitamin that we can all give, and we can all heal each other and help each other. Just like, you know, the same thing as vitamin C and all the other vitamins, is very important that you receive it. Because if you don't receive that vitamin, you're unable to grow properly. So just like you said, it only takes one person to cultivate it, maybe in a youth as that youth is growing, and that can have a lasting impact on that youth. So love is something I think that, I mean, first we have to try to kind of identify, I would say, what love is. And for me, from my perspective, love is sacrifice. Love is making a sacrifice, knowing you're going to get nothing back from it and not expecting anything back from it. So, but if everyone is given that sacrifice, then the quality of life increases for everyone, because everyone's given that sacrifice. Everyone's giving that vitamin out. So everyone's living and having sustenance off that vitamin.
Oh, that's deep. I like that.
I like that, Jerome.
Yeah,
Hey,
I like
and I didn't know what you were doing, Jerome, for what, because you didn't introduce yourself as a child advocate. So if everyone, it feels safe to do, in the chat, if you'll type your business or like a website that you have, so people can contact you, and then I can pull them from the chat and then put them out when I put this on the Facebook page. So if you just type in your website or whatever it is that you do, maybe even your TikTok or your Instagram, whatever, then I can translate that and put that out there so everybody can have that later also. I think that's important, so we can stay in contact with each other and support what we're each doing. Like, I know a little bit about Victoria's business, and it's beautiful and directly from her heart, as is Katie's. And I know what I do is from my heart. So I know that you guys would not be here if you weren't in that place of love and giving to make our world a better place.
I have a question for everybody, because this is something that because I want us to get past, I want us to get to where we're active with this stuff. How do we take, because all of us have great things to say, how do we take that and transfer that to our communities? And not just our communities, just communities. How do we get to the point where we're comfortable coming to each other's communities? Because a lot of times we have things going on, but we're over here and we're separated. How do we transfer that over into interacting with each other outside of social media, in our communities, going somewhere in our communities that we usually wouldn't go to, or outside of the neighborhood that we usually wouldn't? How do we do that? Because it has to be a global, you have to have I think a global mindset, because I don't want just my neighborhood to be nice.
Right.
I really don't. I want everybody, because somebody across the way, if their neighborhood isn't cool, it affects me, whether I think it does or not, it does. So I want everybody's neighborhood to improve. I don't want just my kids to have the best. I want your kids to have the best too, because my kids have to interact with your kids.
Absolutely.
So I want, how do we do that? Because I don't think we've been very successful at doing that. And I want us to be. I have one grandchild. So I don't know what's going to be going on after I'm gone when she grows up, but I want her community to be a community, and not just her neighborhood, but her community, wherever she lives, whatever. I want her to be able to interact with people that don't live near her, I think we should be able to, when we walk in the grocery store, we shouldn't be looking odd at somebody because we never see them. We never see that that demographic where we are. So we don't know how to act around that. That's crazy to me. Two human beings that don't feel comfortable around each other because they never interact with each other. So I want that to change. How do we do that? You know?
So here was the question that I had written down. How do we get uncomfortable to make an impact on the world? So the way I described it to the kids in my program is there's a circle right here, like you're in 5th grade. And in order for you to go to 6th grade, you have to make this circle. And 7th grade, this circle. And you have to keep stepping out of your comfort zone each time to grow and learn and, you know, interact with different people. So how do we get out of our little circle that we move in every day and expand and ripple out that love and peace and joy to everyone in the world?
It's a hard question.
I think we do it by learning, our continued learning. The more we learn, the more we'll seek. And the more we'll seek, the different places it'll take us. And if we keep spreading what we're trying to spread to everywhere that we go and getting what they have to give us and bringing it back, then we're still teaching where we're coming from and we're learning where we're going.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call him son again. I'm gonna take credit for that. I can't, but I'm gonna take credit for that. Yeah, that's my boy there. We got New York Times. That's like my son in New York, my other son in New York. So, but yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I can't take no credit for it, but I'm gonna lie and say
Nah, man, listen. You know, man, you know.
I love it.
That's where like people like don't really see that you have to learn in order to grow. And I agree with that, like what you said wholeheartedly, because like, how are you going to grow your mindset if you don't learn about other people's perspectives?
Right. Right.
It also spreads compassion as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my girl. I do take credit for her. She is my daughter.
Well, you taught me everything. Not everything.
I try. You learn some on your own because we have to, right? Like the reasons we go through challenges and heartache and whatever comes up in our lives is because, in my opinion, it pushes us to grow. And when we grow in the, I don't even want to say the right way, but when we grow on the direct path to our soul's purpose, then we're always moving in that direction. And if we do not learn from the challenge, then that challenge gets thrown at us again because we're supposed to be moving. Go ahead.
Karmic cycles.
Karmic cycles. Yeah. Yeah, we're a little woo-woo in this house too. So if y'all hadn't gathered that.
I think you guys bring up a really.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in moving to continue to discover your life's purpose and moving in love. That in every situation that shows up in life, and I'm gonna say for me as an individual, is either to learn a lesson or to get a blessing from it. And depending on how you deal with a life issue showing up is determined on what it is for you, whether it's the blessing or the lesson. I know that many times of making the wrong decision for myself and the direction I chose to take or how I dealt with it was either a lesson or a blessing, you know? And we cannot, I'm gonna make I statements. I cannot go through life without having lessons.
Right.
Mhm.
Because everything is presented to either learn and grow. And so you'll do better. If you have to repeat something, you know which direction you don't want to take. You know which approach you don't want to take.
Mhm.
Good point. Very good point. I like that perspective where it's either a lesson or a blessing.
Mhm.
Because I always like, no, you have like you're going to grow through it, right? You got to grow through it. One of the things that Jeffrey really resonates is something I say all the time is like, you don't get over anything, you get through it.
Mhm.
Because I always imagine like mountains, right? So if you are getting over something, you go from mountaintop to mountaintop and you miss all the beauty in the valleys. So that's when I say you got to go through it. So you make sure that you hit all those beautiful places in order to grow through it.
Mm.
So
You know, it's funny you said that because I'm originally from New York City.
Mhm.
And I relocated to California. I could have easily got a flight to get there, but I wanted to travel on the bus
Mhm.
to go through the places I've never been.
Right.
For when that bus stopped, to get off and take a picture. It was
absolutely.
a
Keep
part
those
of my
memories.
life, even though it was a long journey and a long bus ride, Greyhound, of course. It was a long ride, 3 days to get across the country,
Mhm.
with delays, and not on time. But that was the route that I wanted to take because I felt as I was moving through each state, I was dropping a load of luggage that I no longer wanted to carry.
Wow.
Mm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's all catch a Greyhound bus, right? And get across the country.
Yeah. Drop it off
Talk
like
about a
stone.
bonding. That would be quite the bonding experience.
And it actually helped my hip contribute to my healing process.
Mm.
I believe it.
Because I was unable and wasn't afforded the opportunity for many years to do things like some people are fortunate to take their kids on a vacation.
Mhm.
Some people are fortunate to go outside of the 5 boroughs.
Mm.
I was that individual who was mentally stuck
Mm.
through traumatic situations in fear.
Right.
Not to take that leap of faith and
Mhm.
see parts of the world I always wanted to see.
Mm.
That I would go in front of a psychiatrist and zone out because they wasn't asking the right questions, and zone out and be in those places traveling mentally.
Mm.
Mhm.
I just didn't take it because financially I couldn't afford it, you know. But then when the opportunity presented itself, I was like a little girl growing up
Mhm.
because I was able to do some of the things I've always wanted to do. And I found that me doing things that way was my blessing. It was a blessing because I got lighter and lighter and lighter until when I got to California, I felt so free. Everywhere I went, I was dancing, I was singing, I was giving thanks because I have nothing but gratitude. And it then allowed me to make a decision after 5 years to relocate again because I want to see more. I want to get rid of more. I picked up some stuff. I dropped off a lot of things, but now I want to really be free. Somebody please take these chains off of me. And I'm in a battle now. God, if there's a God, then you're gonna see me through, because I'm gonna step out on faith once more. January, I relocated. I'm no longer in California. I'm still taking my classes online, but I needed to experience this part of my life because I was held back for so many years, stuck. And now it's like where I'm at, I feel that I'm in an environment where I can connect to like-minded people, where I can give my experience, share some hope, share a whole lot of love and encouragement, and just give back to humanity. You know, the things, the words that I wasn't.
Karen, that makes me think of the things that I've said, like when you heal and when you start feeling the self-love and then feel it back from people who are there to support you, and then start that spiritual journey, then you want more and you want more and you want more. And that's kind of how my journey has grown, because I do want more, you know. And then I read another book and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to share this with so-and-so, and I want more spirituality, and I want to feel better, and I want to make other people feel better. So I think that's a huge part of it too. So how do we step out of our comfort zones and step into a place that we've never been before?
Yeah.
I think I go back to what Karen said before too, about being willing to be vulnerable and let people see you, and put yourself in rooms and spaces with people that are different from you, that don't see things the same way, that have different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different experiences, because that's really how we begin to build bridges and understand that, you know, while we are all very different, the more I have done that, the more I actually realize how much we are actually all very similar in the core of our being as humans. And what we all really truly desire is to be seen, heard, and know that we matter, period. End of story. So putting ourselves in spaces where we can cultivate that and practice hearing from other people's experiences that we don't have to agree with to validate their lived experience, and to be compassionate and empathic to their journey. But it takes practice.
I wanted to say something. Carrie has said wanting more, right? And I found my wanting more wasn't the materialistic, the things that doesn't matter, the things that can go in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't find myself wanting, I wanted unity. I wanted love. I wanted communication. I wanted understanding. I wanted to listen to others. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be encouraged. You know, so those are the things that I took off looking for. Not the big fancy house, not the car. You can give me a single room. Long as I'm safe, I'm happy. Long as I can clean myself, I'm happy. I can eat something, but most of all, I can find inner peace. I wanted inner peace. I wanted to be free from everything that had me in bondage, that kept me restricted from even my creativity. That's the things that I look for. That's the things I still search for. I search daily to continue to be free, because with me being free, I know that I can help someone else
Absolutely.
that struggle, has the challenge that I have.
Yeah, I think as human beings, that's what we all want. And I don't think that many people know that it's out there, that it's accessible, no matter what trauma you've been through, or no matter what affiliation you are with, or church, or schooling you've had, or it doesn't matter what your income is, right? Like, people need to know that there is peace and love and acceptance and compassion and joy within them. So we're about an hour and 10 minutes in. And so I don't want to keep everybody too long. So Jeffrey and I want to give you guys an assignment, and then let's meet back up in about a month, if sounds good. And then y'all bring people in too. So I can have up to 100 people on this Zoom. So Jeffrey, would you like to give them an assignment?
Oh,
And we're going to do it too. We're going to be part of the challenge and part of the assignment. And of course, before I give Jeffrey the floor, I am a huge, huge supporter, fan, whatever, of journaling. So journal between now and next month. Journal what you've done, what you're doing in the world, what you've done for yourself, and yeah, write it down, and so you can share it with us. Okay, Jeffrey, the floor is yours.
I don't know. It's been such a good discussion. I'm just gonna go back to something that completely changed my life. I don't know if Jerome is still on here, but when I was in Rochester as a really young father, I went through some hard times. I ended up in an open door mission, a homeless shelter. And this guy gave me some advice that I just took with, and so this is what I want you guys and ladies to do, if you don't mind doing it. What he did was, he asked me why I was there. And I told him I got into it with my in-laws, and I'm from California. I don't know how to get back, and I don't have anywhere to stay. And I'm giving him my sad story. And he just looks at me, lets me finish, and he says, "You're too damn smart to be in here." Now I've never met this man, but he says, "You're too damn smart to be in here." And nobody had ever called me smart before. I'm 20 years old. Nobody had ever called me smart before. And this man, he's about 70, 75 or so. So he's a senior citizen in this particular homeless shelter. And I don't know why. I can't tell you now. But I don't know why a light came on. For some reason, this man saying that, this total stranger saying that, a light went on. He says, "I'm going to give you some advice." He said, "You can't stay in here all day. So you got to do something. You have to go somewhere." And so the library is open from 12 to 9. So what I want you to do, and it's like 18 degrees or 15 degrees. It's freezing out there, and I got California blood. This shit is tearing me up. So he says the library is warm. It's open from 12 to 9. Go in there. You tackle 2 birds with 1 stone. You'll be warm, and it's somewhere where you can learn. Pick up a book and find out what other people have done with their lives, and do something with yours. And for whatever reason, to this day, I'm never without a book. Never without a book. And a light went on. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is try to cut on a light for somebody, but not somebody that you know, just somebody that you just met, or you casually try to not wake somebody up, but just try to cut that light on for somebody. You won't know if you do or not, because I saw, so the tail end of that story, a couple of months later, I'm back at home. I'm back. Okay. I see him downtown Rochester, and he's coming east and I'm going west. So we're about to cross each other, and I recognize him. And so I step in front of him and I say, "Sir, I just want to thank you for what you said, because I'm reading and I'm going to change my life." He looks at me, steps around me, and keeps on going like he had never seen me before. That's why I believe in angels. This guy has no, to this day, I'm sure he's passed now. To this day, he has no idea. And I'm just one person. But he completely changed my life, the trajectory of my life. Not that I was doing anything terrible, but I had never picked up a book. I could read, but I had never picked up a book. And by him telling me to go to the library and stay warm, I was just gonna go there to stay warm. But he said, well, pick up a book and just see what other people have done with their lives. I've read thousands of books now. I never saw my mama read a book. I never saw my stepdaddy read a book. I never saw my aunts and uncle ever read a book. And I'm reading a book all the time now because of a stranger. So try to cut on the light for somebody that you don't know that well. Just see how it goes.
That sounds like a great assignment. I am all about it.
That was deep. That was deep.
Thank
That
you,
was
brother.
deep, man. That was deep.
Yeah, I was up there in Rochester, man. It was freezing to death. Oh boy, you and Cassandra were babies
listen,
at that time.
yeah, man. Yeah. For just a little background on me and Pop, I call him, man, Jeff. But Jeff like lived directly across the street from me and my mom and my brothers and sisters when we were young. And like he was like my first like real positive black male image I've ever had in life. It's been a lasting, you know what I'm saying, a lasting image. He's still doing the same thing, you know what I mean, from way back then. And like it's amazing to me. But you know what I mean, seeing that development, but that gave me, you know, a light to look at, to do something when I came out. And I went through it. And I've been through it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So, but this was something that I always remember. And it was something, that's why I'm here right now on this podcast. You know, right now I'm here because
you're a son
I remember.
to me. You know that. Yeah.
So,
That's
I mean, I can go deeper into this story, but that's for another time, man.
I appreciate you, man. I love you.
Love you.
Thank you all for being here. It like I said, it has just lit me up and makes me know that there is so much good in this world and we just have to tap into it. So your assignment until next month, and I will send, of course, I'll blast this out when Jeffrey and I can get together and figure out a good date to do this again. And so go out and light up somebody's life. Send a spark through somebody else, and don't just limit it to one, because you don't know what what's your impact on someone else is. And then we'll come back in a month and y'all can share your stories and share how, because this is going to make us grow. This is going to make us grow as humans and ripple out into the world. So Katie says, let me read it. You're
all amazing. Thank you for holding this beautiful space.
Thank you all. Anyone have any final words?
I think Zach wanted to say something earlier. I heard him, and then I didn't hear him. I don't know if he's still there.
Zach, are you still there?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that Karen brought up a great point about how you have to have the confidence in yourself and stability in your ability and accepting who you are before you're able to reach out to help somebody else. Because if you offer somebody help and they lean on you, but you're not fully there yourself, then you're both just going to collapse. So I thought Karen made a great point then. I just wanted to point out how I thought how good it was. I've enjoyed this conversation. I didn't talk too much, but you guys made a bunch of great points, and I'll definitely see you guys in a month.
Thank you, Zachary.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Before I leave, I want to say, Katie, thank you for the invite. I feel that I have a connection group now, you know, other people. I'm gonna also put my number in the chat, you know. And Katie, I'm very sorry. I'm an early bird. I believe getting up, you know, so I can mentally prepare myself, you know, and start my day very early, because my day generally ends early because it be so filled with things. But I apologize for texting so early to find the link.
No problem at all. No problem.
But I want to say to everyone, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. And I hope everyone have a very prosperous month with the assignment. I'm really looking forward to it. It's right up my alley because I know there's people out there that needs it. And I'm gonna find not one, but many of someone
I was gonna say,
in my new hometown. You know, I just relocated to Florida. So I'm gonna meet people here. And I'm looking forward to it. And thank everyone.
I was gonna say
Thank
to
you.
you that you really, yeah, you have some people to inspire. I'm just gonna say,
Mhm.
I'll leave it alone as far as that, but you have some people, just what you said tonight,
Mhm.
you have some people to inspire. So you better bring a
Yep.
bunch of people. You got something to say, seriously. But I'll leave it alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I don't know. You guys are all just like so inspiring. And I want to let you all know that you are all amazing. Like all the things that you have done and all this self-work that you have done is immense. And so many people don't want to put in the effort. And I'm proud of y'all. That's amazing. Like, that's so amazing.
Thank
And
you,
you
Bev.
inspire.
Well, I'm inspired. I'm ready to go and walk down the street and speak to everybody. Not that I normally don't do that anyway, right?
True.
Any closing statements? Anybody else? Well, I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for just being here and sharing your time and your inspiration, your stories, your love, and everything, because this is where it starts. One person, and then they're going to be inspired to take it to another person. And it starts with us.
Big
We
fact.
can go on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
y'all are, feel free to reach out to me in any way, shape, or form. I think everybody has some contact information about me already. And then I will share this. I think what I'm going to do is start a group on Facebook, and then I'll invite you all to that. So
Cool. Thank you for putting this on.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey, thank you.
Yeah, it was really great. Thank you all for coming through. I learned so much. Everybody has something to say that touched me in some kind of way. Thank you so much. Love to see my son on here. That was really a beautiful, beautiful surprise. Wasn't expecting to see. That's my homie. You know, I have so many kids that aren't my biological kids, but I consider them all my kids. But thank you all. I really got something from every single one of you. Every single one. So God bless all of y'all.
Thank you.
have an amazing month. Have an amazing evening, and I will send you guys off with love and light.
The
Right.
start of the club.
Yep.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.